Do you wear funky socks? Most men do. Whether it's at the office or at the bar, your socks are guaranteed to be a conversation starter. Society Socks is a men's socks subscription company that sends you 2 pairs of exclusively designed socks to your door every month. These socks are made of a warm, soft, and comfortable blend of combed cotton, guaranteed to make your feet feel and look great.
But why are they called Society Socks? Socks are one of the most needed and least donated clothing items at homeless shelters. Though Society Socks aims to change that, with every pair of socks purchased, another pair is donated to a homeless shelter. On top of receiving awesome socks monthly, you will feel confident that you are actively making a positive change in society.
Visit mysocietysocks.com/ITR and enter the code ITR10 to get 50% off the first month of a socks subscription. Put an end to boring socks and subscribe today.
Please hang up and try again.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of In the Round with Andrew Taylor and Lee. Check it out, man. As always, by my side during this crazy show, I have the former accountant for Krusty the Clown, Lee Tonin.
Hey, what'd that cost us, Bill?
Lee, what are you doing today?
I'm just kicking it, man, and doing another episode of In the Round with Andrew Taylor.
Obviously, yes.
Over here in this beautifully cool studio, enjoying this beautiful weather we're having in southern Arizona.
All right, right on, man. It's good to be back. Good to be
hot
heard.
outside.
We hope everybody is taking care of themselves during this crazy situation going on in the world.
I don't.
We haven't. Our gym just opened back up, and I blown it off for the past 2 days.
Yep.
So, that's a sign of how things are going here.
Back to the gym. Push some weights, lift some weights.
Hey, you guys might have heard before the show started, Society Socks, that is a new sponsorship we ran for this episode exclusively. Go check them out, man. SocietySocks.com. There should be a promo code in there somewhere in that ad. To be honest, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but go check them out, man. Either way, great socks. It's awesome. Anyways, man, let's get right into it. Let's jump right into the news segment here. I got 4 stories for us today.
4 stories. 4 on the floor.
4
begging for more.
Yeah, 4 on the floor and a 5th under the seat. Let's do the first one. This happened in Kentucky on September 8th. So this is a few days ago. Kentucky police stopped a vehicle with a homemade license plate. And police in Kentucky said they conducted a traffic stop when they spotted something suspicious about the vehicle's license plate. It was homemade.
Like, I assume they took like a piece of cardboard and drew it?
So it looks like an aluminum plate. And it's all rounded and has the holes drilled out like a license plate. So they got that far.
What'd they mess up?
The Millersburg Police Department said officers stopped the vehicle on September 2nd when they noticed the license plate, which appeared genuine from a distance, was missing a registration sticker. Oh. So it's always something. Did you always forget something that's going to get you caught?
They forgot to put the tag.
Exactly. So a closer look revealed the license plate was completely hand-drawn on a plate-sized piece of paper, dude. And dude, you got to see this thing, man. Let me see if I can get you to see it. Look at it. Oh, man, where'd it go? I lost it. Hold on. It's all white and it's literally hand scripted and all that, dude. It's when you get up close to it, you can completely tell.
Well, that's how my driver's license is. I didn't have time to go to the DMV, so I just made it
with some crayons.
I believe everything I read, so I wrote it, then I read it.
They also determined the driver's license was suspended and the vehicle was also not insured. He doesn't have a fucking thing.
Yeah, he didn't do any of the things right. Dang it.
Come on, man.
This is one of the, you know what I like about that story is I would like to have been there when it ran, when they came up with this idea.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like the guy was probably going like, you know what, my insurance is dead. I got no money. I got to get somewhere. So, give me that piece of paper. I'm pretty good at drawing.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly.
Or his buddies it was probably his buddies going, dude, check it out. I drew you a license plate.
Dude, no one will ever be able to tell, man.
Dude, just don't let any cops get behind you.
This is exactly how it went down. Yeah, man.
That's a great idea.
That looks good, dude. Yeah, exactly. I know exactly
dude,
how that goes down.
If I was a cop, I'd believe that.
You can't let him go. I mean, I would arrest him just on the general principle fact that he forgot the registration sticker, dude. You're gonna go that far and forget the registration
Well,
sticker?
You gotta, maybe
You're a fool. I would go in the parking lot and steal one at least. And I'm not recommending
You
this
know
to
what I
anybody.
would have done if it'd been me? If I was going to try to pull some malarkey like that,
What's
I would have
that?
made it a dealer plate.
Or that too.
Yeah.
They'll print out anyways. What's the difference?
I would have just made it like I would have just made a fake. I don't know how they do it in Kentucky, but in Nevada and Arizona, they give you like a paper thing. Now it's just pretty. It's pretty fancy because we do them at work for the sweeper trucks. And
they're barcoded and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's
all
not
that,
like the old days where they just gave you like a little tag to put in the window. You could just hang up. Because I knew people that actually did. In California, when I was a kid, when you had a temporary registration, it was a green sheet of paper you taped in your window. And people would just take like green paper and put it up there and say, this is close enough.
I used to do that in Nevada with the old moving permits. Even if they were expired, just fold up the sheet of paper still and put it up there and just, just don't get
the cop
caught.
goes by and goes, oh, well, he's got a moving permit. He's got to be legal.
Yeah.
Probably isn't carrying any drugs or drunk or anything.
He's
got that moving permit.
You got to be smart about it, man. But moving on to the next story here. Headline reads, this happened on September 11th. 40-pound African serval cat on the loose in New Hampshire. So this police in New Hampshire are asking residents to be on the lookout for an unusual missing family pet. It is a 40-pound African serval cat. The Merrimack Police Department said that the 4-year-old cat named Spartacus went missing from his owner's house on Wednesday, and no sightings have been reported yet. Dude, look at this cat, dude.
I see it.
This thing is giant, dude.
Why would you want
I have
that?
cats, and that cat would kick my cat's ass,
A cat
dude.
looks like it would kick a pit bull's ass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Can you walk a cat like that?
Yeah, I think you would have to. But police said the 40-pound cat might respond to his name when called. His name's Spartacus. So,
I am Spartacus.
Yeah, so that's just good. That's a name that fits the size of this cat. It tends to be skittish around strangers, so
I bet it is.
that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I bet it's a little panicky, a little nervous. Yeah. Hey, your cat, Bob, got in my backyard
Dude,
and ate my baby.
You have to have a permit to own this cat,
Yeah,
and they legally have one, so it's
all
not.
good,
They didn't do
but
anything wrong.
I would imagine you got to have it in a cage.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like a regular cat.
You would
where
have
just
to have
let
your
it out in the morning.
Well,
and,
yeah, if you had it outside in your backyard, you'd have to have it like
A 40-foot fence.
With bobcats do and stuff. They fence them in, they grid them in, and all
I
that.
had
They
a
put a roof
customer
on
that
it.
had a bobcat. It was nowhere near that big.
Yeah.
But it was caged in, and it had like a little walking trail, and when it was out of its cage, it was restrained. Because I mean, think that cat can probably jump 25 feet or whatever.
Easily,
It
they could climb anything.
Yeah, and they can climb anything. So it's like, you can't.
Just a regular house cat.
You come home and you go, honey, where's that servo cat that we own? She goes, well, I let it outside this morning. It's like, oh shit, here come the lawsuits.
Oh yeah, dude, exactly. I'm surprised it didn't get shot or something.
Yeah, some guy out there with a gun goes shot it and said, "Oh, well, I killed a cat."
I thought it was a tiger or something. Yeah, but
Can you imagine coming home for like late at night from a bar or something,
lit up,
and lit up,
it's in the
and
trash can.
it was your neighbors, and it was like over in your front yard on your porch eating the kitty food or something.
Like, oh shit, dude!
And be like, "What the hell?"
Oh, you just be trying to be, hey, kitty,
Come here, kitty. Meow. Meow.
Next story we have. This also happened on September 11th. The headline reads, surfer breaks Guinness record by riding 73.5-foot wave.
Wow.
That thing, what is that? How many stories is that? Over
7 stories.
Over 7? Yeah,
over 7 stories.
Dude,
So that's 7 stories
this thing
tall.
is massive,
Oh,
dude.
my goodness.
And oh, wait, wow, that was by a female.
Yeah?
Brazilian surfer broke her own Guinness World Record when she caught a wave with a confirmed measurement of 73.5 feet. Maya Gabira.
Maya Gabira.
Sound like a total white guy.
Or well, she's a good friend of mine.
Caught her big wave at the WSL Nazar Tow Surfing Challenge. This happened in Portugal.
That's where they surf down there.
Aren't you going
in
there?
Europe. Yes, I am.
Yeah, hey, man.
I'm actually going probably close to where they did that.
Praia do Norte.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
Cool. I'm probably pronouncing all this shit wrong.
I'm going to what they call Lagos, which is on the southern tip of Portugal, but it's not too far from there. Yeah, there's that part. The Algarves in Portugal are the most western part of Europe on the continent.
Nice. Well, the same competition where she previously set the record for largest wave surf by catching a 68-foot wave in 2018.
Wow.
Dude, that's just like the stuff you see in the surfing movies where it's like, it's the Mecca wave, man.
It's humunga cowabunga from down under.
Yeah, dude. What
was the name of the wave in Point Break?
I don't remember. The World Surf League announced that she was the winner, and after catching that massive wave, and was also presented with the Red Bull Big Wave Award. The male version of the record was set by another fellow Brazilian who caught an 80-foot wave in the same place.
A little bigger.
Yeah, just to,
You know what makes me wonder is I wonder how they
insane, man.
measure them.
Yeah, I don't know how exactly that's done.
Because I'll have to look into it, but there's a way they measure those waves. The method of measuring is kind of weird. But I wonder how they know like when to measure them. Like obviously this gal was out there surfing. They were probably getting big waves.
Correct.
And she probably said, because waves change. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming they're seasonal.
Gnarly.
Dude.
Totally gnarly.
Stu, where'd you get that jacket? But I mean, it's just weird. I wonder how they came to the conclusion that, hey, that's a 72-foot wave, man.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, man. I don't know where they get that big of waves over here in the U.S.
Probably in Hawaii.
You think?
There's
yeah,
big wave
I guess.
surfers in Hawaii and stuff.
That
Yeah.
would make sense. Yeah, but over in California, I don't think you
I
get
don't
anything
think they
like
get
that,
anything
dude.
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, I don't think they can.
Yeah, but next story here. This happened on September 9th, and me and you collect toys and stuff like that. We're
Yeah,
into antique toys,
I
vintage
dabble
toys
in
and
it.
stuff. Yeah,
Definitely
so,
dabble in it.
Headline reads: Toy Hall of Fame finalists include My Little Pony and Masters of the Universe. So check this out: the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York, said the 2020 finalists for induction into the National Toy Hall of Fame are Baby Nancy, Bingo, Briar Horses, Jenga, Light Bright. Masters of the Universe, My Little Pony, Risk, Sidewalk Chalk, Sorry, and Yahtzee.
I can't believe Bingo and Yahtzee aren't in it already.
Sidewalk Chalk's not either?
Yeah, this was like the original
yeah,
toy.
dude.
That toy existed prior to it being invented.
toy.
Because when I was little, we used to just take rocks and write on the sidewalk.
Yeah, dude.
So it wasn't
These 12 toys represent the wide scope of playthings, from simple sidewalk chalk that has its roots in ancient times to Baby Nancy, which proved a turning point in the representation of race and dolls.
I don't know what Baby Nancy is.
Yeah, they were just little babies.
Oh, okay. You know what they were? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where am I at? The Strong's vice president of collections, whether old or new, or simple or high tech, all 12 of these toy finalists greatly influenced the world of play.
I think they all deserve to be in then.
Yeah, Mr. Potato Head better be in there.
I think he was one of the first, if I'm not mistaken. We have to research that, but I know Hot Wheels are.
Yeah, so.
And probably Matchbox, and I want to know when is the Cox car going to get in there?
I don't know.
Or maybe the
Evel Knievel
or maybe the
stunt
AFX
cycle.
slot cars.
Yeah.
But that's just is that an actual museum? You can go look at stuff.
Yeah, it's in Rochester, New York.
Rochester, New York.
So check it out. We're going to segue into the Just the Facts segment. That was all for our news stories today. Just the facts. So, we always pull out some weird facts. Maybe you don't know them, maybe you do. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right.
Hey,
you tell us, yeah.
I don't know, okay? How about that?
So check it out. First fact. This is really interesting, dude. And the irony in this is just is at its peak.
The irony is ironic.
So, man who found the 5,000-year-old corpse, Otzi, the Iceman, in 1991. He was the oldest natural European mummy that was ever found, right?
All right.
The guy that found that, I don't have his name, but the guy that found that mummy was also found frozen dead in the ice in 2004.
Really?
Yes.
Was he looking for more mummies and he died?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have that much of the story, but I'm assuming
that definitely warrants more investigation.
it does. Yeah. So I just get normally just a little tidbit of the fact.
Just a little thing. We don't do all the work for you here. You got to do some of it on your own.
Look it up. Yeah. But anyways,
Not a
the
damn
irony in
encyclopedia.
that. Yeah, the irony in that. I'll conjugate you.
Have you ever heard the expression "a rap in the mouth"?
Yeah. So. Anyways, I thought that was a really interesting one.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Yeah, that's what they call a quinky dink.
Well, that's why I don't go out and do shit like that. You should put yourself in these situations, people. You stay at home and watch football or something.
There you
Jesus
go.
Christ. Anyways, next fact. In 2005, a fortune cookie company, Wonton Food Inc., and I'm not making that up. That's legit the name, correctly foretold lottery numbers, resulting in 110 winners and an investigation. No fraud was involved.
Yeah, because on some of the fortune cookies, they'll have lucky numbers.
Yeah.
And so
People pick them for the lottery numbers.
So 110 people won off the
Same
numbers. They were probably all the same.
Yeah.
And that was probably the numbers. And that's that's got to happen sooner or later. If a fortune cookie company keeps making numbers and lottery people
keep pulling numbers.
how many lotteries are in this country or in the world in general? I'm sure there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So that doesn't, I can see that happening.
Oh, absolutely.
That doesn't take too far of a stretch of the imagination. Now, if it happened every week, it would be suspicious.
Well,
least.
Anyways, This next one's really interesting, and it's kind of hard to believe the two are so close, dude. The television was invented only 2 years after the invention of sliced bread.
We talked about that before.
Isn't that
Remember we
crazy,
were talking
dude?
about that? Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Like television, the first known television, a little fucking shitty box
Well, they
television.
weren't little, but they were pretty big.
They had little ones too, though.
I
in the
thought they were
beginning.
pretty big when they first started. They were a pretty big piece of equipment there.
But you're talking sliced bread. That's that old saying, you know. That's the greatest
It's
thing
crazy.
since sliced
yeah,
bread.
I was telling, I think it's you and I were talking about it. But it's
Yeah.
like sliced bread hasn't been around that long.
Well, the first electronic TV was created by 21-year-old Philo Taylor Farnsworth in 1927.
Oh, okay. So when did sliced bread come around? Must have been like 1925?
Early
So, but
20s.
TVs didn't hit the mainstream until, what, the 50s?
Oh, yeah, when you had them in houses and
Yeah,
stuff.
so that makes sense. So it was 25 years
Oh,
later.
yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of a misleading situation there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, but you know what? A lot of people didn't buy bread at
Yeah.
the store.
They made it.
I've read this before. Yeah, well, they made it at home.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would cut it and they would serve it for their meals and all that. And then bakers start slicing the bread into sandwich slices, and
Yeah.
and people
Wonder
still.
Bread was the first one to do it.
Yeah, I remember us looking at that. But then what like our house in Whittier, you don't see it anymore, but older homes that haven't been remodeled or whatever, you see it, they had breadboards. You know, they had they slid out of the the cabinetry, and that's what, because it was one of those things. It was always like, this is where you slice your bread.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people bought non-sliced bread.
You are correct, sir.
I bet Ed McMahon was around before they had sliced bread.
And they had the milkman and the paper boy and the.
Well,
you know.
I vaguely remember getting milk delivered to our house.
Yeah, but I bet your brothers and sisters do.
They probably
I bet Donna and stuff does.
They're a little older than me, so they
Yeah.
probably remember it a little better.
Yeah.
But I vaguely remember it. I mean, I was really little. And I remember.
You remember more of the Helms Bakery truck.
well,
and stuff
that's because
like
the Helms
that.
Bakery guy came to
If
me.
you're from LA, you would know
He
that.
came to our house, the same guy, until
Yeah.
I was like 16, 17 years old.
Well, it was actually a career. That was that guy's job.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, he had a man, and that was a. You know, thinking about it now, we always had donuts
Dude,
at our house.
what a badass concept they should still do today, dude.
They do.
Yeah,
It's-
but
it's-
not
it's called
not,
Amazon.
Not as cool as the Helms
Well,
Bakery truck.
things
You could go
changed.
out and look at the product and the truck and shit.
And
all
I
that.
remember being young and there being two different ones. There was
Yeah.
a guy that would come like one day, and then as I got a little older, it was the same. And the guy's name was Jeb McKenna.
Yeah.
And he had the same truck, and then my dad would work on it, or my brother would work on it occasionally. He would do something to it, fix his hoo-hoot noise or something like that. He did one time. He put a new hoo-hoot because he would pull up and go hoo-hoo. He had a little like a little air diaphragm with a handle on it.
Choo-choo one.
It was just a little thing that tooted. It was, and you pull up, and but like I said, that guy came around the
Didn't you buy
neighborhood.
cigarettes off of it?
I used to
and
go out
shit?
and buy cigarettes from my mom for him, and then he would bill them, for him and all that stuff. And so, yeah, and then he had a really bad heart attack, and he had to retire, and he moved out of state. But we had him, and we had the Jewel Tea man that used to come and sell stuff at the house. And
Yeah. See,
that was back when door-to-door people would wander around.
Be
and-
awesome.
It was just a different time, man.
But on to our next fact. This is the last one of the segment, and this is a really funny one, and we had to include this. I personally chose this one. Before the term bloopers was coined, outtakes were called, what do you think they were called?
Flubs.
Boners.
Boners?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Hey there, Ricky, you done pulled a boner on me.
that was a
What? I didn't do
boner.
shit, man. What are you talking about?
Who didn't start the tape? You made a boner, man.
Yeah, you know what? I remember bloopers used to be a lot more like interesting and fun. Like I remember as a kid, the National Enquirer would even list them because my grandmother used to read the National Enquirer, and so they would list the boners or the bloopers on
The
some
boners.
of
See?
some of the,
See? But it fits. It works. I'm
And
telling you.
nowadays, if you look in even high dollar production movies, there's like mistakes that people point out. And I find that stuff just fascinating, man.
Well, yeah.
Like when they come back and they say, hey, look, here's this thing. And you can see it. I mean,
Hey, in this Western, there's a Domino's pizza box sitting there over there by the bar. Yeah.
In
come
fact,
on, guys.
I read one the other day. I can't remember any of them now off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But it was all on the movie Back to the Future 2. And there was probably 20 of them.
Yeah.
Where they
I believe it.
Where they point out, hey, this isn't time period right, and this is,
I believe it. So let's go right into today's topic because we are talking about movies right now. That's why I kind
love
of
movies.
segued into that here. Today's topic is going to be basically, if you saw today's title of the episode, it's called Movie Role Mix-Up. And what we're going to talk about is movies that were supposed to have different lead actors in it and movies we would like to see with a different lead in them. Or just maybe not the lead, just a different actor in general.
Maybe just an additional actor.
Exactly, yeah. So let's get right into it, man. I got a list here in front of me that I did some research here. And the first guy, now this is movies that were supposed to have different leads in the beginning when they wrote the screenplay. These are the people they had in mind initially for the role. So the first one is going to be The Godfather, Michael Corleone.
Who told me this? I can't remember who it was.
There's a couple different people that were supposed to play Michael in that movie in The Godfather.
Gene Hackman?
Nope.
No?
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, that's right.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Robert Redford and Warren Beatty.
You know what? It's so funny because in looking back, you can't imagine anybody other than Al Pacino.
Yeah. Well, that was before he got all like that, too.
Well,
you know?
yeah, he was a different actor back then. I mean,
yeah.
he's gotten weird over the years. But
And Pacino's going to make quite a few appearances in this one, too.
But
so.
you know what? I guess if you'd never seen Al Pacino play Michael Corleone, then
You really wouldn't know.
Yeah. I wonder if the movie would have been.
And that goes for any of these, so that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I was going to say, because you're measuring it to a standard
Of what you already know.
Of what you already know, yeah.
But so if you just go and, like I said, now this is all initially when the screenplays were first written. So, and this is what they had in mind.
Some
for the
director or
character.
producer had in mind.
It was
I wouldn't mind having Nicholson
exactly.
in this.
And I think it's the other three that we mentioned were pretty crazy. It would be weird to see in that role because that like you said, you've already seen it. It really could be nobody else.
Yeah, because I mean, he grew. I mean, when you think of Al Pacino, the first two characters you think of are Michael Corleone and Tony Montana.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care what else he's done.
Exactly.
And he's done a lot of great
everything.
movies. Those overshadow everything else he's done.
Oh, dude, he's done a ton of great stuff.
Oh yeah, he's done really good movies.
He's got a great ass. Or that guy. Which dinosaur do I buy the cocaine from?
Yeah, that was Al Pacino. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, he was in Jurassic Park. That was Bill Hader doing that.
And I don't know, but like you can envision Jack Nicholson doing it because he did Prizzi's Honor and he was kind of a lobster guy in that.
Wouldn't it be really weird? Because I've met Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson is Jack Nicholson all the time. He is that guy all the time.
Yeah, and if you also look at the role that Michael Corleone was portrayed by Al Pacino, it wasn't a very thrilling role. He was pretty low key.
Yeah, he didn't.
Through the whole movie, he's pretty even.
What would you call it? Melodramatic or whatever?
Kind of melodramatic. Yeah. It wasn't even really, I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
So and Jack Nicholson needs.
There was emotion, but just not like over exuberant.
Yeah, it wasn't. He wasn't.
Crazy.
That was his whole kind of thing. Is how cold he was. He was kind of a cold dude.
Yeah.
To where his father, Marlon Brando. Had about the same kind of even keel temperature. He didn't get mad, screaming and yelling to where like James Caan did in the movie.
Yeah.
So it was, Nicholson, you're always expecting that outburst of some.
Exactly.
I don't want to buy the
That's
fucking.
What I'm saying. Yeah. So I think it would have been a totally different role.
He might have made it his own and been good at it, man.
Yeah. So let's move on to our next one on the list here. We're going to start this. There's 3 potential actors they had on this one too. And it's Forrest Gump. Who do you think it was?
I've read where they had John Travolta in
He
line
was
for
another
it.
one. There was 2 other ones.
I don't know those ones.
Bill Murray and Chevy Chase.
Oh, yeah, you told me that. That's right. God, I had to start listening to you, man.
See?
You know what? To be honest with you, the Forrest Gump role for Tom Hanks is another defining role for Tom Hanks. I mean, everybody that's kind of what he's measured up against every time he does anything.
Probably his biggest movie.
One of them. His most iconic. I don't know if it's his biggest.
Castaways is pretty big.
Yeah, but when you think of Tom Hanks, you think of Forrest Gump. Or when you think of Forrest
Green
Gump,
Mile.
you think, hey, he's a great actor. He's done great work.
No, I'm just saying Toy Story.
Yeah, he's done all kinds of good stuff. But in all honesty, though, I could see any one of those other actors doing that role.
It would be weird to see Chevy Chase doing it, or Bill Murray too. It'd just be weird because they're kind of bringing different humor to things and stuff. But they also have done serious stuff too.
I could see Bill Murray doing that.
Bill Murray has done more serious stuff. I haven't really seen Chevy Chase in anything super serious in my life. So
no,
I've seen him in Fletch and Fletch Lives and stuff.
That'd be like having Rodney Dangerfield do it or something.
Yeah. I could see him being quick-witted humor or something. And that's basically
I love
what
Chevy Chase.
is. Me too.
But he's always whenever I think of Chevy Chase, I've pigeonholed him into Clark Griswold.
Well,
you know?
or just anything like his humor from the 80s.
That's kind of what I've
Yeah,
Remember that Law and Order?
I think John Travolta would be really weird as Forrest Gump.
You
I
know
just
what?
don't see how he would do it.
You know what? John Travolta is.
Hey,
Nah, he's a good actor. I don't know. See, this is another thing you have to look at. Would the movie Forrest Gump been as successful with Tom Cruise?
You know what?
Tom Cruise.
You know what John?
Tom Cruise
you,
doing?
you know what John Travolta has always said? He kicks himself in the
not
ass
taking
for
it?
not taking the seat.
Well, it was a well-written script,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
you know.
the movie was a major blockbuster.
I mean, who wouldn't?
And John Travolta's had some of those on his own, man.
Oh, a bunch.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't really, it coulda, shoulda, woulda, but
Yeah, what do you do?
But I could see him doing it because you know what? I would think he would do it in the same form or style that he did the movie Michael in. Mm-hmm. Remember the one where he plays the angel?
See that, and he gets he played more serious. in that and
or what's
stuff,
the one where he?
It wasn't like Urban Cowboy or Grease or Saturday Night Fever.
See, that's where people they've pigeonholed him as that Italian.
That's what he was.
But he's come a long way, man. What's the movie where he can read, where he gets super smart in it? Phenomenon. Where he sees a bright light and all of a sudden he starts knowing all the answers to all these questions. That was almost
Scientology?
No, the movie was called Phenomenon. It had the Eric Clapton song and it changed the world.
Okay.
But that's a little bit of a glimpse of what he could have brought to Forrest Gump, and it probably would have worked in a different way of Tom Hanks' style, obviously.
All right.
Bill O'Reilly is Forrest Gump. We'll get onto that later because we get to pick who we'd want to see do it.
The next one here, and this is a pretty interesting one. Great movie, by the way. I thought Sandra Bullock did a great job in her role in it. The Blind Side. She was initially supposed to be played by
Rosie O'Donnell.
No, thank God. Can
Roseanne
you put her
Barr.
on a plane to the sun, please? A rocket to the sun. If there's
Roseanne
anybody,
Barr.
her too. Take your Ambien with you. Julia Roberts was supposed to actually initially play that role in The Blind Side.
Well, once again, Sandra Bullock, Julia Roberts, both great thespians. I mean, they're both great actresses.
Great actresses, yeah.
But I think Sandra Bullock took that role and made it what it was supposed to be. I don't know the lady that they were portraying, if she was more like Julia Roberts or.
Well,
I've seen pictures
that's
of
Hollywood too. So
yeah. I know that movie has done no good for the guy they made it about. I've read interviews with him where he's not happy with it.
Really?
Michael Orr?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he said, it's half true, he goes, I always wanted to play football. I didn't have to be talked into it or nothing, man, it's just, but it's like you said.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, they gussied it up, dude. But it is a good movie. You know who was good in that movie was the dad, Tim McGraw.
That was Tim McGraw.
That's Tim McGraw.
Yeah, well,
and then
didn't he own some Taco Bells?
That movie had one of my most favorite actresses in it of all time.
Kathy Bates.
I love Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates to me is, whenever you put her in something, even if the movie is complete dog crap, she makes it good dog crap.
Act 1, pure fucking dog shit.
And the daughter in the movie, you know who that was?
What?
That was Phil Collins' daughter.
Really?
The singer?
The drummer?
Mm-hmm. The drummer and the singer.
Of
one and all.
Genesis?
Of Genesis. And it is a very well solo career.
Well, all right. Well, enough of this. Oh, here's another musician, actually. That's weird that got brought up. So
I know how to segue.
So, well, did you see my list?
No.
All right. Well,
I felt it.
The next one, a lot of people are fans of Seinfeld. It was a huge show, obviously. Very huge. Hey, quit all that racket over there. You hear that?
Are you beating onto something?
Yeah, that's my fault. Anyways.
Is that the one with the chain on it?
George from Seinfeld, the bald guy George.
Costanza?
Yeah. He was supposed to be played by Paul Schaefer initially.
That's weird because
a lot of people don't know Paul Schaefer's a musician. He was the keyboardist on the David Letterman band.
He's been a musician.
Late night band.
He's been around forever, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a career before that,
too. Yeah.
He was in Spinal Tap, and I seen him in some weird movie he made one time. I wouldn't really consider, I don't know a lot about Seinfeld, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I didn't really care for the show, so.
Yeah, well.
I'm one of very few.
I haven't really watched it either. I was a kid when it was on, so I didn't really.
I just never really cared much for Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah. He's like the most vanilla comedy there is.
Well,
but
it's
anyways,
how about those showers?
Yeah, what about those airlines?
I saw Jerry Seinfeld many, many years ago.
Was he good?
Yeah, he was actually. He was very new in his career, and I can't remember where it was now.
In Vegas?
No, it might have been in Vegas, but I seen him. He played with I can't remember who opened up for him, or he opened up for somebody else. It was Bob Saget.
Did you have an onion tied to your belt?
I had an onion tied to my belt because that was the style back then. We don't bust heads like we used to.
But yeah, I thought that was a weird pick. You know, this
Yeah.
next one is a really weird one, and I think it would have. No disrespect to her or anything, and you know the things she did in the '90s, the '80s, and the '90s and stuff. But
I'm curious to hear who this is now.
I think it would have completely ruined the show. And like I said, no disrespect. Pam Anderson was initially slated to play Dana Scully on the X Files.
That's
I cannot imagine that show going any other way than the way it actually went. You know, as far as actors and actresses
I have
and
to
stuff
think
and
for
all
a
that,
second here.
just cast in general.
I had the biggest crush on Gillian Anderson when X Files
You
was
even
on
bought
TV.
a gun just like her.
I did. Actually, your mother bought me a gun just like hers.
Which that show, people don't realize that all that stuff that's in that show was like at the time was current to what the FBI
they
actually had at the time.
Yeah, they had. Then people don't know that they changed weapons over the course of the show.
and cars and stuff too.
Yeah,
all
it was
stuff,
time period. They had consultants
Yeah.
on it, but. And I'm nothing against Pam Anderson. I think Pam Anderson is a beautiful woman and came into her own rights, you know?
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see her.
Back in the day,
I'm trying to
you see her
remember-
now, it's fucking scary.
Well, she can't stop the sands of time, man. But
Turn back the hands of time.
got a weight problem. What's he to do? You know?
Close your window.
But I just don't see I'm trying to remember what was first, Baywatch or X Files.
Baywatch.
Was it?
I'm going to say Baywatch.
Okay, so I couldn't see her transitioning from Baywatch. And I'm saying there's other people that could have done Scully.
That's why it probably got brought up, is because she was so popular.
That had to have been a
in
very
Baywatch.
short conversation, man.
Hey, what do you guys think of Pam Anderson?
Yeah, she's under contract with Warner Brothers.
She had to
next.
play. Well, she had to play a doctor, dude. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and I'm not insulting anyone's intelligence or anything, but
yeah, she doesn't
come
come
on,
across as
man.
being the brightest. Which, not to mention, she was the original Tool girl in Tool Time,
yes, she was.
and then they replaced her with Becky.
Heidi.
Yeah, that's right. I think she was Becky, wasn't she? I wonder what she's doing now.
That show was awesome. I don't
That
care
was
what
a great
anyone
show.
says.
That was a good show.
Yeah, moving on from that, we talked about Tom Hanks a little bit ago, just a few minutes ago.
Another Tom Hanks one.
So, well, here's Tom Hanks, and this is a Tom Cruise movie that Tom Hanks initially was slated for to play the main character.
Top Gun.
No, God, no. Which I just saw that movie for the first time the other day. Not that great.
Oh, what's a classic?
Yeah,
man.
Peter, it's
You're coming at it though from being not ever seeing it when it was originally produced.
even then. Anyways,
Well, that's why it's
volleyball
not.
scene a little weird.
Well, yeah, it had a lot of queer overtones to
But
it.
anyways, which is hey, whatever.
But you know what?
I'm
At the time, Andrew,
I don't want to alienate anybody.
We
That's
all
not-
had our onions tied to our belts back then.
Yeah,
Man. It was
you know.
it was what we did, man.
Back to Tom Hanks. He was initially slated to play Jerry Maguire.
I could see that.
I could see
Yeah.
it too. So that's I thought that was an interesting one.
Yeah, I could see that. I just watched a Tom Hanks movie a couple days ago, the one where he plays the record producer, That Thing You Do.
Right?
Right? And you know what? There's a little bit of Jerry Maguire in that, man.
No, totally. And that's funny. They mentioned that. That's why they initially had him in mind, is because of that movie. Tom Hanks directed that movie.
He
too.
wrote it.
Yeah.
He
all
wrote
that,
it and directed it. Yeah. He wrote the screenplay and directed
That's
it.
why they had him in mind
And he
for
started
Jerry
it.
Maguire.
And it's not a terrible movie if you like
No.
movies about rock and roll and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
a good
decent
movie. It's Tom Hanks, man.
It just kind of goes nowhere. It's just kind of like,
And he's been there's some alleged, allegations going around.
on Tom Hanks.
But,
I thought he was squeaky clean, man.
he seems like a nice guy to me.
He does
but
seem like
there's
a
some
pretty
allegedly
down-to-earth guy.
some allegations going around.
Oh,
but
it's-
we won't get into that because we're not that kind of show.
That's-
You didn't
that's
tune
too
in for
bad
that
to
kind
hear
of
that.
crap. But hey,
He won't stand for baloney.
enough of that malarkey. Moving on. Ray Liotta was supposed to play Tony Soprano in The Sopranos. I was a kid when that show was real popular, so I remember it being on.
Never
I
seen
just
it.
was too young to really watch it. So.
I know who played the guy. The guy died that played him.
Yeah, he had a heart attack or something.
Yeah, at
didn't
a
he?
pretty young age. I mean, not long after The Sopranos wrapped up. But if Ray Liotta's a great actor.
Shit happens.
I love Ray Liotta in
the other mob,
Hannibal
yeah,
and
mob movies.
And
Okay.
what was the good one? The one you like where he
Hey.
beats the guy with a pistol? The Goodfellas.
Yeah, hey, I'm Ray Liotta, and you should quit smoking because I take Shantex, and this shit sucks. That's basically how his. You ever see his Shantex commercials? They're
No.
great, dude.
Yeah, I have. No, but I can
Smoking
see.
sucks.
Was
I'm
he,
Ray Liotta.
Was he ever in The Sopranos at all? Did he have any role in it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. God,
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you grab Don Rickles, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, all the mob movie
You
has-beens?
know what? We should probably watch The Sopranos and see if we like it. I bet it's something we probably be like, dude, because we always
It's
do
the
that.
only thing De
We
Niro
always come
ever
in
did
10
good in his
10 years
career.
late, dude.
It's the only good movies De Niro ever did in his career.
What's that?
Any of the Italian mob movies and stuff, dude.
De Niro's done
his
some
only,
good stuff.
yeah, his biggest claim to fame, and now he's just an angry grandpa.
Well, now he's messed
really
up. now.
bitter.
Yeah, he lost all his money.
Because he's an idiot.
Well, he got divorced
It's
and they
his
took all
fault.
his money, and he don't like the president.
Grandpa's
He's
over there
he's
being
just mean,
crotchety
yeah, he's
again.
crotchety, and he's old as dirt, man. So
Next guy.
enough
Love
bitching.
this guy. Love
Robin
this
Williams.
Guy. No, he's dead. So,
Okay.
but I still love him, but he's dead.
Okay. Arthur Fonzarelli.
Dude, Henry Winkler was supposed to play Danny Zuko.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knows the story goes he didn't want to be pigeonholed into being a greaser type actor, and Happy Days did that for him. So
Yeah, Happy Days was much.
Jesus, dude,
well,
I
he
should have
did
done
Lawrence of
Grease,
Flatbush with Stallone,
which is a greaser movie.
yeah, which was a greaser movie. And I thought, did he have any inside with the Outsiders or anything like that? No, okay. So then they cast him in Happy Days as Arthur Fonzarelli, which he's labeled for life.
For
now.
life, I have a Fonzie action figure. That's
Yeah, who doesn't have a Fonzie action
yeah,
figure?
Come on, man. All the cool kids are doing it.
But so you got to think. So when they came to him with the idea of Grease, which to me nobody could play Danny Zuko better than
John Travolta.
in the stage play.
I heard some shit about Grease, like where they claim that Sandy's actually in a coma.
Oh, there's all kinds of theories about that.
It's
yeah,
crazy,
she drowned.
but it actually kind of makes sense.
Well, you can. But
How
you
the fuck that car fly at the end?
Well, yeah, that's
And all that
it's
till
a
you
movie,
know.
dude.
Should bop your ass out of here with that
They're
bullshit.
fictional characters. Am I getting through to you?
I'm just saying,
But
in a story,
you know who originally played Danny Zuko? Because Grease was a play prior to it being a movie.
Frankie Valli.
No, it was the guy that played his buddy, Jeff Conway from Taxi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when they auditioned for the movie, they were going to make
Bobby Wheeler, the
They were gonna-
actor.
the actor. they were gonna have Jeff Conway do the lead as Danny Zuko because he'd been doing it for years.
That's who they should have
On
got.
Broadway.
That's who they should have got. When we get into the next section, that's who I'm adding into Grease.
All right,
That should have been
you're allowed
Danny.
to do whatever you.
Danny DeVito as Danny Zuko.
Now, oh Jesus, Sandy.
We're going with a real underdog story here.
See, here's a problem that I have with that. Of many.
I love
In
Danny
the
DeVito.
I know you do. In the 90s, you couldn't see a movie
Without
Danny
Danny-
DeVito in it.
That little
Everything that
troll
came
in
out
it.
had that little troll in it, man.
He's
Which
cool.
I love Danny DeVito. He's hilarious. You don't see much of him anymore. Well, it's not true. He does his own show now on that Philadelphia show.
Oh, whatever. I've never seen it.
But no,
I heard
originally
it's good.
the Jeff Conway was going to be the lead in Grease because had been on Broadway for years with it.
Correct.
And then Travolta came on, and Travolta was a better dancer and a better singer.
Photogenic
What
and-
was Kinnicky, and he was a little.
A hickey from Kinnicky.
Jeff Conway wasn't a bad-looking dude. I mean, he was probably better
Yeah,
looking than John Travolta.
that
you know?
Scorpions guy I heard did some work afterwards too. The guy with all the shit on his face.
Yeah, that guy was a guy that had bad acne that got a job. That was weird, man.
Like we need someone with a scarred up face with a lot of old acne
you know what?
scars.
But
and all that, you know?
what was his name?
I think he was like 45 too. I think he was like a high school student.
Yeah, he was. What was the girl's name with the big breast? That was a
Cha-Cha?
Cha-Cha.
You know how she got her name, Cha-Cha, right?
She was a good dancer. That's what she said.
You do the Cha-Cha with her, you might have your fire crotch, dude.
Oh,
I always thought
she had a little.
She was hot for the time.
She was. Oh, I thought she was stunning.
For the time.
I saw that movie in the movie
Back in the
theaters
day,
as a kid.
back in the day, chicks weren't as
When did that movie
hot,
come out?
man.
What, 78?
Yeah, 78.
So I was 11 years old when I saw it. And I remember seeing that movie at a walk-in theater.
in reference, hot chicks at the time would have been like Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, and they were.
What's the chick? The chick from
Olivia Newton-John.
What's the chick?
she was in
what's
that
the chick
movie.
for the Bionic Woman chick? What was her name?
To this day, Lindsay Wagner is still a pretty
still
woman.
very pretty.
Yeah, and she
Linda
was
Carter.
gorgeous.
What's her name? What was the Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. Yeah, those were
as a reference.
those
That's
were
what
the
hot chicks look
Raquel
like.
Welch.
Yeah, that's
you
what
know,
hot chicks look like. back in
Dolly
the 70s.
Parton.
She had, dude. That's the thing, bro. For that time period, they had to be fake.
No, she's come out and answered that. Her breasts are real.
What Johnny Carson say?
Yeah, he's just pretty good. Yeah,
I'd give up a week's pay to
I'd
look
give you
under.
a week's pay to take a peek.
But anyways, back on track here. Next one. Justin Timberlake was slated to play Elton John and Rocket Man
I believe
initially.
that he would have done a
He
good
did
job.
a music video.
I'm not a huge fan of Justin Timberlake's music because
Yeah.
I'm too old for it. I don't know any of it. I'm just.
Oh, I give credit where credit's due.
But
He's a
as an actor,
very
that
successful
guy
artist.
has done he's not a bad actor.
No, yeah, Trouble with the Curve was great.
Yeah,
I liked
he was
him
good
in
in
that.
and he's been something else. What's the one where they kidnapped the kid? I don't remember what the.
When you seen Elton John and they played those backing videos.
Yeah, he played the young Elton John in him.
Yeah, and all his old get-ups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's from a music video he actually did where he's doing that.
I'm sure it is.
So,
yeah.
so I think that's where that
But
whole
yeah, I
idea
can see
came
him
from.
pulling that off. I don't know. I tried to watch Rocket Man, and it just didn't make any.
I didn't like how they had done the movie.
It didn't make any sense to me. It bounced around
He's
so
a
much.
kid
and-
playing Saturday Night's All Right for fighting in a bar. That never happened.
Yeah, I didn't know any of it, so I didn't find Bohemian Rhapsody. I found somewhat entertaining, except it was so off on its facts. And I'm one of those sticklers.
It
of
is
like,
what it is.
You know, if I see
It's
what they
Hollywood.
call a biography, I want it to follow what happened. You know,
The next one we're going to get into here is this is another great one, and we were talking about Al Pacino earlier.
Hoya,
Hoya!
Hoya.
You know, you're a real piece of shit, Frank.
Hey Frank, what's a hossa?
But, dude, Scarface is great, dude.
I told you.
It's very dated, but it's great. Al Pacino was slated to actually be Han Solo in the first Star Wars.
Yeah, I could see that because
Think back in the 1977 when Al Pacino probably would have.
Well, he was doing like Dog Day Afternoon and
Exactly.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, they probably and Harrison Ford was relatively unknown.
Yeah, he had
I
done
mean,
American Graffiti or whatever.
That was
yeah.
one of the things. And he was a building contractor in
And,
Hollywood.
and Lucas claimed, he even said, Harrison Ford said it himself, that he's even said, like, he didn't want to use actors he had used in previous films already. So, like, the fact that he got that role in general was kind of a big deal. Like,
Are you a Harrison Ford fan?
I like Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
He's
I
cool.
think he's done something. What we're doing is wrong.
Yeah, when he played the retarded lawyer. Yeah.
What we're doing out here is wrong.
And regarding Henry.
I like Harrison Ford. I mean, I think the last few movies that he's done, he's shown his age. You know.
Man.
Oh no,
Indiana
those were
Jones
good.
and
Those
shit,
were
dude.
good.
God,
No, they were all
it's just
good. I'm not a big
iconic,
Star
dude.
Wars fan, man. So I mean,
Even Star Wars, man.
But
That's
I've seen,
awesome.
you know, yeah.
But can you imagine Al Pacino in Star
Yeah.
Wars? Hi.
he was a very popular actor. And like
It'd
I
just be
said,
weird, dude.
I bet the list was even longer than that. They probably had a bunch of
Yeah,
people. They were
yeah.
like, you know, can we get this guy? And they probably settled on somebody
It'd
else.
just be weird to see Al in that role, like, you know, just compared to the other roles he's done.
I watched a movie a
If I
while.
walk in there and I see a Chewbacca,
You know what? I watched a movie.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
I watched a movie the other day. It's been, when I say the other day, it was a year ago, that it's based on a true story, and it's got Al Pacino as a pop singer in it.
Oh, yeah, you were
Currently,
telling
he's a
me
pop-
about that,
It's
yeah.
called Danny something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's based on a true story of a pop singer from the 60s
Yeah.
that had this hit song. He was like a one-hit wonder, and John Lennon had sent him a letter
Yeah.
and to his management company saying, look, if you lose the pop singer kind of thing, I think you have a lot of talent as a real artist to make real good music. And he never got the letter until he was in his 60s.
Way late in the game.
And it freaked them all out. It's actually not a bad movie. It's called Danny Henderson or Danny, I don't remember what it's called, but it's actually they got him singing in it and stuff. It's weird.
Next one here. We touched on Sandra Bullock a little earlier, and I know you really like this movie. It's a Clint Eastwood movie, $1 Million Baby. The lead actress that played Maggie,
Hilary Swank.
Yeah, remember Maggie,
Yeah.
the character? That
Way
was
hot in that
initially
movie.
supposed to be Sandra Bullock.
They never made her look as hot in another movie as she looked in that movie.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well,
no, yeah, that was Hilary Swank's role. I mean, I think she
did a great job.
She won an Academy
that
Award
movie
for
is
it.
a great movie. It's
That is probably
it's
the
a
best Clint Eastwood movie
It's one of the
made. It's just
saddest movies
sad,
you'll
yeah.
ever see. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I could see where Sandra Bullock or Rosie O'Donnell or Roseanne Barr could probably have taken that role. Would have been as well.
Yeah.
You know who was good in that movie?
Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne Barr probably could have played in that movie.
What, the
Was-
mom?
Was the mom. That lady did a phenomenal job, and I think she's dead now. She played that friend of Dexter's on Dexter, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. That movie's just so sad, dude.
You know what I do when I watch it? I
Cry?
watch it. No, I mean, that's why I don't watch it anymore. I look like a fool sitting there, blood. There's nothing worse than a fat man weeping. But I watch it up to the part where she gets her neck broken.
Yeah.
And then I shut it off and I make up my own ending.
Yeah.
I say, oh, yeah, she got better, got out, won the championship. She's a millionaire now.
Ah, there you go. Next one, man. I know you're a James Bond fan and all that.
You don't
so
hell you say.
Hugh Jackman was slated to play James Bond in Casino Royale initially.
I don't know enough about Hugh Jackman because I don't think I've ever
done
seen
the Wolverine
him.
movies
I don't
and
think I've
stuff,
ever
yeah,
seen any
so-
of those. I'm not a big super book.
I think he could have pulled it off, but I do think what's his name, Daniel Craig.
He's done a phenomenal job.
I mean,
man. He's been good at it.
You can't knock it, man.
It's going to bring it this situation of who they're going to have replace him because the one coming up is the last one he's going to do. Which I wouldn't be pissed off if they came out and said, you know what, we changed our mind.
We're going to keep him.
We're just going to keep him. Yeah.
He's not old.
He's my age.
Old. Yeah, but he's not that old to where he can't do it. You know.
That was always Sean Connery's and Roger Moore's downfalls to the fans and each other is they ran them too long.
Yeah.
You know, because when you got Bond, when you got a 60-year-old guy making out with a 20-year-old chick, people tend to get a little disgusted in it, you know? So it's kind of like, we got to have somebody that's a little younger.
I don't see the problem with that.
I don't see where you're
Do you guys?
What about you guys? So I don't know. I don't even want to get into the controversy of who's going to be, or the conversation of who's going to be the next James Bond.
Well,
I don't know.
So let's jump into the last.
It better be a guy.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say.
Let's jump into the last part of the show.
Damn women, James Bond.
You got to take note, Warner Brothers, Universal. He's upset. Anyways, let's jump into the last segments here because we're running short on time.
All right.
Movies we'd like to see with a different lead. I'll bang out mine real quick before we get to yours because you're probably going to have some better stuff than I got.
Okay.
So my first one, they put out the Speed Racer movie of years back.
Oh, yeah.
Initially slated for the role of Racer X, older brother of Speed Racer, if you know the cartoon or the series. I thought it should have been Nick Cage. The guy that did it was great. I don't remember his name, but he was great.
It was Emilio Hirsch that did Speed Racer.
Yeah, and he was great for Speed.
Yeah, he was good.
I think Nick Cage should have been Racer X and Speed Racer.
Yeah, I could agree with you. That would have been
dude.
good. Nick Cage can do anything. He could be the shark in Jaws next time they make one.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude.
Nick Cage, awesome actor.
Yeah,
man.
and just cool guy.
Would you think that it would
be? The next one. And we've talked about this on the show before about Clint Eastwood, how we wrote him a script and all that. You know. I think his son Scott Eastwood could be.
Still waiting on that call, Clint.
Yeah. Come on, man. El Paso, let's do this. I work cheap, man. Let's go.
Oh, for that we do it for free.
Yeah, just to hang out with you, man. Scott Eastwood and a Dirty Harry prequel movie.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Or he's a young cop on the beat before he becomes a detective.
Clint Eastwood's nephew or something. Dirty Harry's nephew.
No, prequel, man. Prequel.
Oh, prequel. Yeah. Before
young
times,
Dirty Harry. Yeah, young Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that'd be really cool because you could show Harry get molded into the pissed off.
Hey, I got an idea, and you could have Al Pacino be his chief.
Yeah.
Hey, you,
Callahan,
huh? Or how about Sean Connery's not making movies anymore?
Yeah, but I think that would be a really cool one too. And then my last one, we talk about Tom Hanks a lot today, but just because I think he's such a weird, he doesn't do any crazy party movies that I can remember off the top of my head. I think he would have been funny in the Hangover movies somewhere.
In a role, so with one of the main. They should
replace Ed Helms with Tom Hanks. I think that'd be hilarious.
He's not older than those guys.
Yeah, but it'd be funny. And he could play that nerdy character.
He
guy
did a party movie back in the day. I can't remember what it was called.
When he was younger, right?
Yeah. Well, he used to wear a dress and do a TV show. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I think it was called Bosom Buddies or something like that. Yeah. Try making that one now.
Yeah, So let's jump right into your choices, man.
Okay. For and this is kind of a kooky thing, but do you remember the movie Hot to Trot?
Yes.
Do you remember
Don?
The guy that was John Candy, but Bobcat Goldthwait?
Yeah.
I think Bobcat Goldthwait would have been the 80s guy that
crazy
did that routine.
Dude. Yeah.
And as a police officer in an actual crime drama.
Oh my God!
Like a special
Zed's character,
but not in a police academy setting.
Okay,
where everything was kooky and crazy.
It's just a normal life.
Yeah, that's how he was.
He has Tourette's or whatever.
Tone him down a little bit.
He's got Tourette's. Or something?
That's a good one, like a Tourette's syndrome kind of.
I'd watch it.
I'd
watch it. Yeah, hell yeah. I'd actually watch that. Follow Zed around.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay. Let me put it this way. Bobcat Goldthwait in the remake of Chips, instead of the Mexican dude they had, or the white guy, either one, he would have been better than Dax Shepard, because Dax Shepard is terrible.
Yeah.
So And then another one that I would like to have seen done was in the Rambo movies. I would have liked to have seen one of the, if they were going to do another Rambo, I would like to see something with Danny DeVito in it.
Oh my God. Danny DeVito's awesome. I don't care what anyone says.
No, I do too. And these are just crazy picks, and I know this will never happen.
We're going out there. That's the whole point
maybe
of this.
Danny DeVito as a Colombian drug lord or something.
Hey, I sell cocaine.
Yeah, or whatever. Hey, come get your cocaine, asshole. Or something like that. And then my final one is, and then I missed this guy because I really liked him when he was a very popular actor back in the days. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen him in much. He's made some good movies. I'd like to see a resurgence or how do you say it when somebody comes back into a career revival or something?
Resurgence.
A comeback?
Resurgence,
Or maybe a comeback of Brandon Fraser.
Okay.
And I'd like to see Brandon Fraser do
another Mummy or something?
No, I want to see him do something like in comedy.
Okay.
Something like he did in Bedazzled or something
Bedazzled
like
was a
that.
good movie.
Yeah, Bedazzled was a good movie.
Elizabeth Hurley? Oh.
In fact, a sequel to Bedazzled would be fine.
Yeah.
I would do that. That would be fine.
Elizabeth Hurley?
Let's get her done.
Jesus Christ. All right,
she
guys.
Still looks good.
Yeah,
she still looks a good-looking lady.
So is that all your choices?
That's all. I just had three, too.
All right. Well, we
can ramble on this all day if you want.
Yeah. Well, right now we're going to bring it down here a little bit before we close the show out. Normally we close out with like a quote and all that, but before we get into the final close of the show, Lee, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Facebook at Lee Tonin. That's LeeTonan.
Awesome. Right on. You can find me on Instagram at Andrew Taylor Radio, and you can find the show page on Facebook at In the Round AZ, or just simply type into Google In the Round with Andrew Taylor and Lee. You will find us on all podcast platforms. You can get us 24/7, 365 all the time. Don't miss out on it, man. We got a lot of great stuff. And we're going to keep forging on, man. We only have a few episodes left in season 2 till we start season 3. But as you know, these about 2 days ago, what was it, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it was September 11th. So we're just going to kind of do a little tribute for everybody on September 11th here. 19 years ago, our nation was struck with the largest loss of life by foreign attack on U.S. soil. September 11, 2001 was a dark day for our country and for the families who lost a loved one and for the entire world. And nearly everybody was affected in this tragedy. 3,000 innocent lives were taken from us far too soon. 400 of those lives were there for police officers and firefighters.
First responders.
With more than 25,000 injuries, 1.8 million tons of wreckage at the World Trade Center alone. This month we pay our respects to the victims of this horrific tragedy. In these exact times we are in now, we need to remember the unity every American and every ally across the globe had during those times. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and all affected in this, and we will never forget you and the power of a country that came together when we needed it the most. Thank you for listening. Have a great night.